back row.
Hey. Hope you guys enjoying your day today, man. Real Talks YT back at it. Today, I'll be presenting the Blockchain Futurist Conference 2023. As you can see, it's already going on right now. But I will be playing you, of course, the one and only Shytoshi Kusama. He will be presenting today, and I will be showing you it today, guys. And of course, some other clips as well, because it was a live show, and I was able to catch it for you guys. And just to let you guys know, it will be amazing. Let's get it.
Originally in Canada, headquartered here in Toronto, so this is my hometown. I'm excited to be here. And I moved to Bermuda. We moved our business to Bermuda, so that's been our area of focus over the last 5 years. So hopefully I'll be able to draw some parallels, draw some contrast between the two jurisdictions, but really excited to be on the panel. Thanks, Amber.
Thanks, Amber. Aaron Uncherman, I'm the Managing Director of Mission and the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority.
Thanks, Aaron. Hey guys, my name is Michael Rapkin. I'm the Global Head of Business Development at TV Chain. We're one of the world's leading market makers and liquidity providers when it comes to crypto. We actually help power a lot of the exchanges and financial platforms out there that you see today.
Hello? Oh, hi. My name is Rachel Epstein. I am a lawyer and head of policy at Input Output Global, which is a blockchain research and development company, and one of the developers behind the Cardano blockchain.
Cardano's in the house.
I'm very grateful to be here and excited to be with this amazing panel.
Brilliant. We're happy to have you here. Let's start off with just the state of global regulations. What are the trends in terms of international regulatory approaches at this point? And Karem, maybe you can kick us off.
Awesome. Yeah, no, regulation definitely is not sexy, and it never was, but at least you have to pay attention to it today. 3, 4, 5+ years ago, regulation was really something that you either ignored or avoided. And now it's top of mind for every single financial services business in the digital asset industry. And whether it's fighting or working through the regulatory processes at home, whether it's here in Canada or wherever your business may have begun, or going abroad to a jurisdiction that is pro-digital assets, blockchain, and has proactively written legislation and have regulatory environments. And so I'm seeing a lot of jurisdiction shopping now. We're seeing a lot of big international digital asset companies come explore Bermuda, which is exciting for us. That's the intention, to write this type of regulation to attract businesses, improve the economy, to grow the ecosystem where it can. And then other jurisdictions like Switzerland, Abu Dhabi, Singapore, a lot of businesses are going off and just learning new cultures. But I think that's a part of the DNA of our digital asset industry, is to be global and learn and acclimate. So
Sure, I'd just add, at X-Reg we try to bucket the different sort of categories of regulatory approaches. And so, what we see is there's an unregulated space, so there's certain jurisdictions that don't regulate crypto. However, that group is shrinking rapidly. Then you have jurisdictions like Canada and the US that try to leverage their existing securities and derivatives regulation with varying levels of success, I would say. And then you have sort of my favorite category, which is the bespoke regimes, like Bermuda and others, and those are the ones that really allow a bit more flexibility, more proactive for industry. So that's really a focal point of the jurisdictions that we look at.
So I'll add that regulation is needed, right? The fact that we don't have clarity, that makes it unsexy. And so when we talk about what's been trending is creating frameworks around the world that can help attack digital assets, right? Whether something's a security commodity, whether it's DeFi, it's CeFi. That's what really we've been seeing, and it's kind of come from the place of a lot of fraud over the last year and a half. A lot of issues starting from Luna, FTX, Celsius. That's really helped push regulators to look at the space and say, hey, we need to protect the people that are investing here.
Yeah, I think we're seeing more participants at every level, and we're seeing, yeah, as my fellow panelists have said, either the approach of same risk, same outcome for an activity, and trying to fit like a circle in a square, or is it a square in a peg hole? Yeah, there we go. Or we're seeing other jurisdictions treat this as a new asset class and new laws around that, and then that becomes even more complicated when you're thinking at an international level. So the trends are differing. I think like what's same across the board is everyone is taking this seriously, whether it's because of fraud or breaches and fear. At least it's forcing a conversation at this point.
Yeah, maybe just to put some words in Michael's mouth, from what I understand, regulatory clarity is what's sexy. Did I get that right?
Yes, you got that right. Thanks, Karen.
Oh, baby.
And that's actually a good lead-in to the next question in terms of, are there particular jurisdictions that are taking an approach that are more attractive for companies that are in the blockchain and virtual asset space? And to the extent that you can comment on it, how does that compare to where we sit today in Ontario? I mean, how comparatively sexy is Ontario? And I'll get you to kick us off, Aaron.
Yeah, it's always interesting when we're talking about sexy and regulation, but we'll go with it here. So yeah, at XReg we spend a lot of time analyzing jurisdictions around the world for their suitability for crypto firms. One thing to point out off the bat is there's no one-size-fits-all jurisdiction. So a lot is driven by your particular business model. But in terms of global crypto hubs, good places for crypto firms to do business, we've got the Caribbean. So, we got Bermuda, where Karem's from, Cayman Islands, where I'm from, BVI, and Bahamas. Europe, with the passage of MiCA, has now positioned themselves to be a global hub. And France has sort of taken the lead within Europe in attracting businesses and trying to create a real flexible framework. Across Europe, we also see Gibraltar and Switzerland, which are traditional hubs for crypto and good places to do business.
Switzerland.
Middle East, as Karem pointed out, so you've got Vara, you've out of Dubai, you've got the Emirates, another hub which has seen a lot of inbound traffic, and then obviously Asia. And in Asia, Hong Kong and Singapore are the leaders. They've kind of blown a bit hot and cold over the past couple of years. Now they're both, I would say, relatively hot. But at XReg, and I'm sure everyone on this panel would agree, we've seen a tremendous amount of movement over the past year with people looking to find jurisdictions that really suit their business model.
I'll add, with regards to Ontario, a lot of people in this room might say Canadians haven't been doing a good job building out a framework, but if you look at our next door neighbor, we've been doing a great job. And so, maybe we're not as progressive as, let's say, Singapore, we're not as progressive as the MiCA framework, but yeah, regulators in Canada have been talking to companies and have been engaging. And so when we talk about Ontario, and I know a lot of people in this room might not like this answer, yeah, we are progressive and we are getting to the place where we need to be. Maybe it's not where some of the other jurisdictions are, but we are working towards it.
So, yeah, I am based in the US. My company is headquartered in the US. It's not very attractive right now. I give the analogy, it's like you're driving on a highway, but you don't know the speed, and you get pulled over, and you're like, okay, you were speeding, I didn't know, too bad. You're fine. That's not sexy. The speed limit is 60 miles per hour, great. Next day I go on the same highway, and I'm driving, and I'm going 60 miles per hour, and I get pulled over again, but this time it's now, the state police instead of the county police, and they're like, nope, this is, the speed limit's 50 miles. No, but yesterday I have a ticket for 60. And that's how I feel like it is in my country right now, right? Like every executive agency is fighting, and, there's just a lack of alignment on every level, and then kind of arbitrage between regulators and then lawsuits and everything else. It just makes it really fun times. and lots of billables. But I would also say, as a lawyer, what's attractive to me is having a place where I know the rules of the land. And so where there's clarity, that's where I want to sign up so I don't get pulled over with a ticket. I think just even frameworks, anything that's being implemented, whether you think it's too burdensome or not, I do think something is better than nothing. Obviously, the right something would be even best. But then I think the attractiveness should also come down to what activity are you doing? And that's going to weigh in a lot on those considerations.
So clarity, sexy. Regulation by enforcement, very unsexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and getting pulled over for a ticket just last night, that really hit home for me. So that was a great analogy. And I think what's really been awesome about even preparing for this panel is we all work in different jurisdictions and we're all teaching each other. And hopefully, the little tidbits you get from us on this panel, send you down your research, right, and explore these jurisdictions. And I love how kind Aaron has been about Bermuda every time. He's Cayman-based. He should be highlighting Cayman. I'm sure the Cayman government is watching, Aaron. You got to highlight them.
Cayman's the best.
There you go. See, I'm selling Cayman more than you are, but no, it's important, and I'm really proud to be a Canadian. I'm proud to be living in Bermuda. These are two jurisdictions that have created clarity, even though it's been bumps and roads and twists and turns. But we're honored and blessed to be around regulators that are putting in the work, right? They're doing the research, and even if it is a bit of a fight sometimes, and I'll give a shout out to 3IQ and them taking the leadership role here in Ontario. It definitely does, change the landscape and make it more fair and equitable for all of us to participate.
Absolutely. Let's take it out of the jurisdictional question for a minute and just talk about global agencies. So there's a veritable alphabet soup of agencies, from the FATF to the FSB to IOSCO to BIS. All of these agencies that have international reach. How do they influence policy? What's their role in all of this? And Rachel, I'll get you to kick us off if you would.
Yeah, so all of these agencies have a really important role in whether it's international standard setting for securities, which is IOSCO's remit, whether it's the kind of global monitor of AML, anti-money laundering and counterterrorism financing laws and regulations, and that would be FATF. They want to promote financial stability and market integrity. That would be Financial Stability Board. And then a plethora, IMF, BIS, the list goes on. It's really important to what we were talking about earlier, and making sure as all of these jurisdictions and countries are taking their own approaches. Well, we live in this global world, and this is global technology that's interconnected and accessible just from the internet. And so making sure there's consistency and clarity in definitions and applications, in scope of what activities are thought about. And this influences the policy that will be set down by the regulators on a national basis. So it is really important, and we're already seeing some concerns.
So guys,
they all have,
I'm just eating some pasta.
are part of this conversation.
So what they're talking about right now, they're talking about regulators, right? And these are all Canadians. Okay, just to let you guys know, coming from other places, Cardona and some of the players in the game, right? And they're talking about the compliance with the regulators and giving us some brief information on what's going on. So it's good.
Will affect probably where you guys are operating and working. So it's important to know what these agencies are saying, what their concerns are. How they're looking at crypto. They're seeing a lot of the structural flaws. They're looking at the volatility issues, centralization issues. They all are using the word decentralized without really understanding what it means, because there's no real common definition as to that. And we need to make sure they understand the nuances of, this new economic model that's, really fueled by tokens, so that they can really distinguish the risks that might be present in DeFi from the risks that are present in traditional finance. But as well as the risk, they need to understand the value propositions of what we're doing. So really needing to be aware of what their concerns are so we can combat that through education and engagement and correct that so that at the end of the day, we're getting policy that is not made on a, incorrect, misunderstood basis, right? The smarter they are, the smarter they can make regulation that's going to affect us all.
Very quickly, I'd just add, it is critical that we're able to come up with some sort of global standards. We have clients that operate in 150 countries, and the prospect of having to follow, different regulations in each of those countries is not workable. The crypto market's global, so it's a bit of a daunting task to try to influence global regulators, but we do need some baseline standard for this market to really work and thrive going forward.
And for us as a trading company, when we look at the FATF lists, we look at what's been sanctioned, what's not been sanctioned, right? And it's very important for us because there's a lot of banks, there's a lot of other vendors and partners that don't want to be working with anybody on that list, right? So if a country is not compliant with following the guidelines that FATF provides, well, they're basically saying, hey, we don't want to follow the guidelines, and that essentially might force the FATF regulatory body to say, hey, you guys are high risk.
Yeah, and maybe I'll just add on the global piece is something we're exploring in Bermuda, and I'd love to speak to more regulators about is the concept of passporting licenses. That if 2, 3, 4 a group of regulators can agree that this is a baseline or this is a standard or these are the procedures that are fair and enough, then a license in Bermuda could possibly allow you to operate in Abu Dhabi, let's say, under what ADGM would agree is meeting their requirements. So I think passporting between jurisdictions is definitely the direction that we will go soon enough. And I think it's, and there's a lot of platforms for regulators to get together and have these discussions. And one thing about FATF is it is quite thoughtful in how it was created and how it's written. And I wouldn't recommend go read the whole thing. I'm not a lawyer. If you're not a lawyer, it's not exciting to read. But if you can find the cliff notes of it, it is quite interesting. And even Michael asked me, he's like, how did you get into the regulatory side of things? And I'm not a lawyer, so the answer is there's no avoiding it anymore. So either read the cliff notes and get a starting point, or get your lawyer friends to grab you a beer and tell you about it.
Yeah, I think that's top of my wish list as well, to be able to have meaningful passporting. And we've talked a lot about what good regulation can look like. In your opinion, what are the things that we in the private sector, as companies, as individuals in this space, can be doing to better influence policy and have those sexier outcomes, frankly? And Mike, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, for sure. So obviously a shameless plug. So, one thing that, a lot of companies can do is what we're doing at DV Chain. We are engaging with the regulators. We are open dialoguing. We are allowing them to come in, look at our business, understand it, be transparent, and helping them understand any common misconceptions, right? That's one of the things that we, as a company, are obliged to do for the ecosystem, because given the amount of fraud, given the amount of misconceptions that regulators have, there are a lot of questions that they have. So for us, it's about education, it's about open dialogue, and it's about interacting with them.
I would just add, responding to consultations or through industry groups, yourselves, through your representatives, is critical, because most regulators do have an obligation to consider and take on board comments. So that's where you actually have an ability to influence, and that could be at the intergovernmental level, like IOSCO, or at your local level. And in providing comments, they have to be meaningful and provide use cases and specifics. And so if you can do that, there is definitely a good opportunity to shape favorable outcomes.
We also have our work cut out for us. We need to improve the reputation of our space. Unfortunately, bad actors have made that a little difficult, and the headlines have not been sexy, and the regulators are reading them too. So we need to show them that this is more than just illicit funding and, you know, and that stuff. That we are not avoiding regulation. We want good, clear regulation that, you know, promotes innovation and what the future of this technology can bring.
So all the big companies out there entering jurisdictions, stop hiring the regulator, the people there. They're doing so good in learning and evolving and progressing. Leave them there. They're doing great. When you hire them, they play for your team, but it slows down the process. So maybe that's just something for people to keep in mind.
That's amazing. And last question, because it wouldn't be futurist without it. What's your top prediction for global regulation coming up right now? And we'll start with you,
Good
Fred,
question.
maybe just move down the line.
Sure. I'll do my plug. Come to Bermuda. We have clear regulation for digital assets, whatever type of digital asset business you are, whether you're issuing, doing payments, custody, market making, derivatives, exchange, all the above. And we're advancing into looking at DAOs, protocols, and DeFi as well to create clarity there.
Big Shiba.
I would encourage you guys to come visit us in Bermuda, and we'll hopefully show you about the regulation and a good time too.
I won't do a Cayman competition here, but please consider Cayman as well. What I see as sort of the new frontier for regulation will be the DeFi space. You know, over the past year, there's been a tremendous amount of growth in that space. It definitely has not gone unnoticed by regulators. You know, philosophically fascinating how to regulate entities that don't have a central governance system. So I think, yeah, we're going to see regimes looking at it, trying new approaches, and you know, excited to see where it all leads.
I'll make it simple. More of it. We're going to see more regulation. And, you know, for anybody that's thinking about cutting corners, that wouldn't be a recommendation that I would give, because you're only going to have much more regulation, much more KYC, and much more AML in the space. And that's fine, because we want the space to grow and we want to continue, and to earn that trust. If that's what the regulators want us to do, then that's what we'll do.
So I echo what my fellow panelists have said. I guess to throw in something different, it's more of a hope. I hope we see more RegTech solutions. I hope that our amazing brains in our industry are actually thinking of solving these regulatory hurdles where, you know, you're coming from, especially what DeFi presents is, you know, trust in code instead of trust in people, which is what our current financial system is based on, and regulatory, you know, supervisory is based on, you know, how do we regulate the people in these roles doing these activities, and now you're removing these people. So how do we, you know, regulate the code? And so this is an opportunity where we can really get creative and, you know, figure out how to solve issues that, you know, with the FATF travel rule through, you know, technology solutions. So yeah, that's what I hope for.
Love it. So for the builders in the audience that are interested in building RegTech solutions, I would highly encourage you to talk to Rachel. These brilliant folks are around, so if you have jurisdictional questions, please come and chat with them. And thank you so much for joining us today. That has been our time.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Everyone have a good futurist.
Thank you to our esteemed and sexy.
So guys, this was the panel, right? The challenges and opportunities of global blockchain regulation and compliance. We have the moderator, we have Rachel Epstein, we have Michael Rabkin, Karim Kologolu, and these are you know, partners trying to grow the ecosystem of crypto. All right.
Coming up next, Lamont Beal from Corium. He'll be discussing the future of tokenization, smart tokens. Please put your hands together for Lamont.
So guys, just to let you know, I thought after this was gonna be Shytoshi Kusama, but I guess not. Let me just check if he's still gonna come on.
Hello. How's it going, guys?
Guys, I don't know. I think we missed them.
You having fun here at Toronto?
They say you're supposed to come at 2:10.
That's
2:10, so
great.
you're supposed to come at 2:10. What's happening, man?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you about the future of tokenization. Smart tokens. So first, let me introduce myself. My name is Lamont. I'm the Developer Relations Manager for Quorum. All right, so Quorum is a layer 1 blockchain on the Cosmos SDK.
Cosmos.
That's ultra fast, scalable, and interoperable and sustainable. All right, so what exactly are smart tokens? So smart tokens implement a fundamental asset logic supported by our protocol. Developers can choose to extend that foundational logic via smart contracts. And smart tokens can be fungible or non.
So guys, I don't think he's gonna come soon. I thought he was gonna come after those judges, but I guess not. So I don't know.
We're talking about permission minting.
Oh, we could listen up. We could listen to this guy. He's talking about Cosmo. Cosmo is one of a good what do you call it?
And multi-sig approval.
Good token, man.
So Quorum, being a Cosmos chain, allows developers to deploy projects that are interoperable with Cosmos chains via the blockchain app, the IBC, the inter-blockchain communication. All right? So this enables assets to transfer and data exchanges between connected blockchains. All right, so developers can take advantage of growing DeFi ecosystem on Cosmos, which includes creating decentralized tokens that can be used across various applications and chains within the Cosmos ecosystem. Now, when it comes to this particular hackathon, this brings us to interchain tokens. So I'm talking about bridging assets, message passing from chain to chain, and cross-chain dApp tokens. All right, so particular use cases that you can use for your projects for smart tokens. All right, so we're talking about a tokenized limited edition collection representing each with a specific number of tokens. Release these tokens as time regulated, all right, giving yourself a sense of exclusivity and urgency. So time-based minting of your tokens can be implemented to ensure that you are only minting and releasing predetermined intervals, preserving a limited edition nature for your collection. Wrap tokens, okay? So here's another project idea for you guys. So create a large pool of assets available for trading and DeFi activities, liquidity aggregation. Use the same tokens across multiple chains, all right? All this leads to an increase in overall liquidity and enhances the trading experience of the users. Stable coins. So another use case for interchain tokens, interchain smart tokens, all right, is creating pegged one-to-one assets. A cross-chain smart token will allow for stable value to be transferred and utilized across multiple blockchains, making the stablecoin more versatile. So the stablecoin supply can be managed on Quorum with features such as permission minting, blacklisting, whitelisting, freezing, while remaining cross-chain. And then you have tokenized assets. All right, so you can create tokenized assets that's not restricted to a single blockchain. So reducing the risk of being tied to a blockchain that might face scalability issues, security, governance issues in the future. All right, so by being accessible on multiple blockchains, cross-chain smart tokens can reach a wider audience, tapping into the communities and user bases of each supported chain. Yep. All right, so a smart token can create arbitrage opportunities for traders who can buy the asset from one chain and then sell it on another chain where there's an even higher demand. And then the last use case really comes down to security tokens, a token that provides a way to diversify risk by spreading the token's exposure across different blockchains. All right, so this is in case of a blockchain that has congestion, technical issues, or governance disputes on chain. So users can access their assets on the other chain. Tokens that give exclusive access to different wallets or connections or collections that are on other chains. All right? So, Quorum has a lot of prizes going on in this hackathon. We really encourage you guys to take a look at our docs, as well as Axelar, to create cross-chain smart tokens. All right? We also have a robust grants program. So, if you, after this hackathon, if you're looking to have your project funded, definitely send in an application and we can take a look at that and you can get your project funded. All right, folks. It was very nice meeting all of you, and thank you.
Thank you, Lamontville from
If you guys know, Corium is going for 12 cents. 12 cents, guys. You guys want to go buy it? It's at 12 cents. Developer Relations Manager, Corium, Lamontville. Talk about the coin Corium. And right now it's going at 12 cents. The supply is at 500 million. So it's not bad. And it's in the Cosmos chain. The highest it went was almost $1. So it's not bad. So I don't know what's going on. Satoshi is about to come.
Next is a short message from Shytoshi.
Hey!
Dear Humanity, featuring music by Scott Buckley.
Let's get it. About to go down, baby. Shiba!
A feeling so hard to escape. Dear humanity, you feel it, don't you? The growing need for something different, something new. The unfortunate reality so many face. From the crushing weight of infinite inflation, a feeling so hard to escape as it seems everything is caving in on us. Natural disasters, unnatural disasters, wars, and the rumors of wars that always seem to advance. This is not by chance. We have placed our faith on the secrets of a few instead of the power of many, but tomorrow that changes. We have been robbed of our liberty, cheated of our autonomy, and blamed for our shortcomings. We have surely been exploited for our data, indebted to centralized monopolies, and forced to forge our future with the forgotten scraps of past martyrs and tears of genocide survivors. You may ask, can a simple meme, a joke, born as an experiment make a lasting change on the global stage? The uninitiated, and at first glance for those who are initiated but asleep, the answer may incorrectly appear to be, no, of course not. It's just crypto, bro. We can't change the world. Let's just build and moon. This incorrect yet noble approach is one most of our former competitors decided to take, but SHIB is on a different path starting today. In fact, every blockchain, every crypto and metaverse here will dazzle you with technology, and we will do the same. But what makes SHIB unique is our community, the SHIB Army. When we are empowered to scale even further, our global community will stand together for a better future, a decentralized one. It is here and soon on Shibarium that dogs, toads, and apes, yup, even the entire zoo, is invited to live in peace and harmony. Who am I to speak such? It is not yet time for that discussion. For now, I am Shy, and I am uniquely positioned to plant our prophetic banner into the annals of history. With Shib's perfect start by Ryoshi and my decentralized direction, alongside an incredible group of global superstars, including many of you, we have shattered records, taken down websites from traffic overload, and done what many deemed impossible, over and over again. Now, and henceforth, my friends, we will do what many said was impossible yet again. And to ensure we win, I have prepared 2 epic documents for the Shibarium and the 7 Seas. The first will be unveiled tomorrow and given to the globe for free. It is a large endeavor known as the Shib paper. Today, though, I want to unveil a guide I think is missing in this space. It is a collection of ancient wisdom, aligned with personal experience from 3 years in this honorable position. Although designed for noobs in the space, I will create up to 10,000 copies that will be signed by me personally, and endowed with one of the most expensive colognes and exclusive scents in the world, my personal fave. The personally signed copies are a collectible like no other, and authenticated by Shiba Calls technology. It is a physical authenticated collectible, a safer for those who want to own a piece of history. Each copy is 1 Ethereum, and if it is too expensive, don't worry, the Amazon pre-order will soon be available. This insider glance teeming with know-how is tentatively titled The 44 Tenets to Triumph in Crypto. In no way will this document promise you will win in this wild west. But not using the wisdom therein is a sure path to get wrecked. If you decide to purchase a copy, thanks, you fill my heart. The QR code for the pre-sale is on the screen, and I've given leash holders a 1-hour head start. Good luck, D-Yens, stay smart, and thanks for a few moments of your time. On behalf of all of us, we hope you enjoy the conference, our hackathons, booths, cabana, announcements tomorrow, and the party we've thrown to commemorate this great occasion. Remember, with all of our great minds together, we will right this crooked world. So the question is not when, but if you will be able to say and show on chain that you took part of a revolution that was not televised. Only Shib time will tell, and until then, be well. Sincerely, Shytoshi Kusama via AI, obviously. Hail, Shib!
Let's get it. Shiba Inu, Shytoshi Kusama. You already know what it is. That's it, guys. I don't think I'm gonna watch the whole thing, to be honest with you. But that was
Please
the message.
remember to keep tweeting with hashtag Futurist23. Hashtag
That was the message
Toronto,
from
and
Shytoshi
hashtag
Kusama.
Keep Women
You guys
on
already
X,
know what it
formerly
is.
known as
He's
Twitter.
here. He left a message.
Now, let's give a warm welcome to
Sounds pretty
Charlene
good, to be honest with
Teslin
you.
from Local Coin.
Really motivational,
Regulation and beyond.
aspiring,
Looking forward
you know.
with hope.
So I just want to tell you guys, yes, this thing is serious, man. And he said he's shy too, so you guys already know what's popping. Shibarium's about to come and take over the game. Let's get it!